Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus is the chief of the WHO. As of recent, it has been discovered that Xi Jinping, of course, the leader of China, contacted the WHO chief in an effort to delay warning the entire world of COVID-19. The German Federal Intelligence Service found that Xi and Tedros spoke by phone on January 21st, where Xi urged the WHO chief to hold back information of human-to-human transmission and to not put the entire world on notice. The German Federal Intelligence Service is saying that because of China's malicious policy, the world had a delayed response of 4 to 6 weeks. On January 23rd, an emergency committee of the WHO decided against declaring a public health emergency of international concern. Tedros has been quoted in saying, "Make no mistake though, this is an emergency in China." Strange. He spoke directly to Xi Jinping on the phone, and 2 days later, on the 23rd, he comes out saying this is not a public emergency, but this is an emergency in China. Strange. It sounds an awful lot like the Chinese government using the WHO for damage control. Then on the 31st, the WHO finally declared an outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. In February, Tedros said that there was no need for the world to take measures that unnecessarily interfere with international travel and trade, such as travel restrictions. Strange. It almost sounds as if the WHO chief was attempting to protect international trade, something that anyone who has lived in China knows is a huge deal over there. I mean, it feels like every 5 out of 10 girls probably work in international trade. According to Georgetown University professor Lawrence Galston, Tedros' strategy was a more politically strategic one rather than a critical approach. Basically, Tedros sacrificed the entire world so the Chinese government could still make a few bucks. Tedros even praised the Chinese government for its containment measures, describing them as a new standard for outbreak control, which is strange considering the entire world has become infected, which means, quite obviously, it didn't work, and they knowingly allowed it to spread. It is imperative that the WHO not only be held accountable, but that the chief of the WHO be removed. Tedros is incompetent and unable to deal with the countries politically on top of it. Tedros is not even a physician. Imagine that. The chief of the World Health Organization has no medical training whatsoever. This person is obviously paid and bought off by the Chinese Communist government, as Tedros has held 2 high positions within the government of Ethiopia. So why is this relevant, you might ask? By 2018, China's direct investment in Ethiopia has reached $4 billion, and bilateral trade has grown to $5.4 billion. In January 2017, the executive board of the WHO shortlisted Tedros as the frontrunner of 6 candidates. Through 2 rounds of voting, Tedros collected the most votes. Strange, right? Where he was supported by a bloc of African and Asian countries, including China, which has considerable influence with those African and Asian members. It is obvious, once again, China has bought the WHO chief, Tedros. In fact, the reputation of Tedros is already poor, not just because of the WHO and coronavirus, but because of his history. Not many people know this, but Tedros was one of the leaders of the People's Revolutionary Democratic Front. In fact, the National Review demanded the WHO be defunded until Tedros is removed, as he has ties to the Marxist-rooted People's Revolutionary Democratic Front. He served the repressive regime as the Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2012 to 2016. We must let it be known that the WHO must push out Tedros. Not only is he corrupted by the Chinese government, he is unqualified to be the chief of the WHO and is undeserving of such position considering his ties to terrorist organizations. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to participate in the conversation, go to the comments section. And if you want to do more to support this channel, head on over to my Patreon page. Links are in the description. Prime in China, like, comment, subscribe.